Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are working on my little Ford Ranger 95. We had a blue brake line a couple months ago, and I just parked it and hadn't done nothing with it, and decided I wanted to get it run, drive it for the winter, put my other truck up for most of the winter. So I went through and I put new calipers on it, and I ran new brake lines. From the master cylinder down, and these things are a real pain in the butt because to get that you got to go through from the battery, and then it goes down, it wraps around the front of the drop frame, whatever it's called, in the front. And it took me a while to get them out and get new ones in. And then the other problem that we're having is this tire is locked up due to the brakes. It moves them forward and don't move backwards. So I decided that I'm just going to replace everything on the rear end. So we got new drums, pads, new cylinders, and this should be fun. As you guys know, brake drums can be a real pain. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, we're back. So I already did the other side. After I got started, I had some issues and I forgot to turn the camera back on. So we'll go ahead and I did driver's side, we'll go ahead and do the passenger side. If you have one of these, it's a brake tool. You can pull your springs and stuff off with it. It has your hooks to put them back on. I use this. I don't use this. I don't like using it. You can just use needle nose locking pliers. They work pretty decent. Take this thing. That one off. Sometimes it comes out. And you want to take your e-brake line off. I don't know why I keep calling that an e-brake line throughout the video. It's actually a spring for the auto tensioner. Come on. Get out of there. Yeah, we don't need to reuse that anyhow. If you take some, if you have some of those locking pliers, give another spring up under here. This is usually how most of my products go, by the way. I don't have almost anything that goes my way. Then you can take out your springs. That one. pull that out. If you buy I bought my spring kit and the automatic adjuster. I have a kit that'll actually reuse that. So if you don't buy the new kit, then you have to retain that. You have to retain, you don't need this spring when you buy the kit, but then this is your e-brake bar, you have to reuse that. So normally what you do is you take a pair of pliers and you pull them off. This is your e-brake bar. You take a pair of pliers, you can just pull this spring right off there. I don't do that because that thing is a pain in the butt to get back in. So what I do is just leave it right on here. Then I'll take a screwdriver and grab my hammer on it. Take a screwdriver and a hammer, and you can, there's a locking right there. I can't get this dang spring out. There we go. There's a little U-clip here that looks like this one, and you knock that out, and then you can take your bar off without disconnecting it from the spring. When you buy a kit, like I said, you get a new clip and a new, no, I take it back. You get a new clip, but you don't get a new, there's a little washer on here. That's what it is. It's a little spring washer, kind of bent. It helps hold the new clip on there. So while I'm in here doing this, I'm also going to be replacing these cylinders. I forgot to show it before, but this little T right here, I bought a new parts kit, but I did not get one of those in it, so we're going to have to reuse that. It just slides off there when it's not rusted. So for these brake cylinders, there is right back here, there's two 13mm bolts, and you also need to use a I believe it's a 12 to take off the brake line itself. You watch a lot of these videos of people doing these kind of jobs, and they always jump, you know, they move to, okay, take this bolt out, move this, move that, you know, exactly what they're doing. They don't show the struggles that you go through sometimes to get to what you need to get to. I, on the other hand, I like to show people what they're really getting into, how stuff can go wrong, go south, how you struggle, and you're going to see how more likely it's going to be a struggle to get some of these springs back on, but you know what? That's the stuff you never see in videos. People will always go by all that stuff. They bypass that. Hey, all you gotta do is pull this spring on, put that on here, put that on there. They don't show you the 7 times that they tried it until they finally got it. on the other hand, I'm going to show you those 7 times, or however many times it takes us to get those on. And these little, they go in the end of the cylinders. I didn't get no new ones, so you might be able to buy them, but I'm going to reuse them. I'll clean up the ends with a wire brush, and I'll install those back in. So now we're going to install the new cylinder. We reinstalled the two 13mm bolts are on the back side. We're going to reinstall our brake line. So when you put these back together, first thing we want to do is, if you have this off, you can just put this on. I didn't take mine off. So you want to put it through the top hole. Take your little spring washer, put it on, and take your clip. Slide it on, get it kind of started, and take your needle nose pliers, put an edge on the pin and an edge on the clip, and slide that down until it fully seats. See that? And then take your needle nose and pinch the end of it just to make sure it don't come off later. Maybe. So pinch it closed. So next you want to take your, you have a new bracket and a new retainer spring, I guess you call it. Slide it on there. You want to, if you buy a new kit, there are left and right brackets. Latch it onto the spring, push it over, and then slide it back. Push it over and slide it back so that way it's clipped on there. Okay, so next we're going to take this, we're going to rotate it up into position, making sure that your brake line is behind that. Then we're going to take excuse me, take our new pins, slide those in the back, put a spring on. And I take my locking clips and I put them in my little vice grips. It's easier to deal with. Slide it on there. I'm gonna have that one locked in enough. Try this one again. It went flying. One more time. Put this on there. Take your little retainer. spin it 90 degrees so it locks into those little locks in that. Then we're going to take our e-brake bar, put a new spring on it. When you put this in, you want to put this, excuse me, you want to put this short end to the back, making sure you put it over the e-brake bar back here. So with, like I said, for the kit I got a new adjuster. So you want to take the long, skinny, adjustable end, needs to be pointed towards the forward. I'm gonna take this and sit it down in the cup of the brake shoe. We're gonna take our shoe, make sure we get our cylinder arm lined up. Make sure right here on the bottom you get that auto adjuster. Get it lined into both sides. Get your e-brake bracket lined in, and your cylinder arm, I guess you call it, put in. Take your new pin, put it through. Put your spring on. Take your retainer cap. You rotate it 90 degrees. Get that on there. So next we're going to take a little pivot bracket. We're going to slide it in the hole right here. Take your spring, insert your spring. Insert your spring, let your spring lay there a minute. Take your e-brake cord, I'm going to attach it down at the bottom. And you want to run it around the back side of that bracket, which can be very tricky. And then you have this little bracket we took off earlier. You want to put it back on. Of course, it don't want to go on. You want to just stays clipped around the back side of that e-brake swivel bracket. You want to put a little bit of pressure and hold that back in too, because it can slip out on you. Put one hand back here just to hold that in. See, I told you it can be a real pain. I'm sure people know easier ways, but I actually don't do this stuff all the time. So I don't know all the I don't know all the little tricks to getting this stuff done. Slide that over. while you're doing this, my auto tensioner, the came out of the bracket. You just want to keep an eye on that stuff because they do fall out pretty easy while you're doing this. Stuff all lined back up. If you have a set of these, I don't use these because I don't really like using them. But we're going to try it anyhow. Hook it on there and hook it into the other pad. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. I hate doing it like that. Take our needle nose vice grip. Put them on there. Like I said, it's not all it is. Oh. And by the way, it's one of my least favorite things to do in this world. Try this one more time. Put that one on. Take your new green spring, I guess, and take it and fight with it for a minute. So depending on how you do this, when you're doing these tops, sometimes when you pull them, it'll pull the bottom apart. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this spring and we're going to take the long end and hook it to the back side. There's a little hole by the edge. Hook it up and around. You need to bend this spring up and put it behind the e-brake line. Son of a bitch. Sorry about the cussing, peeps. I get frustrated really easy. After you get that ran, take your needle nose, vice grips, just another little hole on the other side. I'll go ahead and attach to it. Then that'll help hold everything on the bottom together. We work on getting this lovely spring in. buddy?
It won't click in.
It won't click in. Push down and turn.
You got to turn?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'll try to do it.
Get that clicked onto there. And that be it. So what you want to do is you want to go through. You want to check and make sure that, you know, when you put this little bracket back on, make sure the points are to the top. Make sure you got all these on. Your little swivel bracket back there is flat against the brake shoe. Everything's hooked up. Everything's in place. That should be it. So one thing you want to do on these is try to put your hub on, and if it's hard to get on or it goes on way too easy, you can you need to manually adjust the wheel on your auto tensioner, and you want to get that to where you're just barely dragging whenever you put your hub on. Okay, so when you turn it, there's just a little bit of drag. That's what you want. It'll find out where it needs to go. So that's it for this crazy little video. You know, like I said, you know, people put out these videos that are just, you know, do this, this, this. Well, what I showed you today is do this 3 times, do that 4 times. You know, it's not all as simple as they try to make it to be. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video or like the videos I'm putting out, how about you hit that like, subscribe button, you know, let me know in the comments what you think. Until then, till next time, see ya.